Welcome, friend. If you're here tonight, your heart might be racing, your chest tight, your mind spinning through catastrophes that haven't happened yet. You're not alone. You can close your eyes now. Let your body settle wherever you are. There's nothing you need to do here, nothing to accomplish, nothing to prove. For the next hour and a half, you have permission to simply rest. If anxiety is keeping you awake tonight, I want you to know something important. You're not broken. Your nervous system isn't failing you. Right now, at this very moment, millions of people are lying awake with the same tight chest, the same racing thoughts, the same fear that something terrible is about to happen. This isn't a personal failing. This is what happens when a human brain gets tired and the alarm system takes over. But here's what matters. People have found a way through this. Not by fighting the anxiety, not by forcing themselves to calm down, but by understanding how fear works and by learning to be with it differently. Tonight, we'll explore why anxiety amplifies in darkness. Why 3 in the morning feels different than 3 in the afternoon. What the Buddha understood about the nervous system 2,500 years ago. And practices you can use right now, tonight, to calm the panic and find your way back to rest. You'll hear stories of people who learned to work with anxiety instead of against it, who discovered that the tight chest and racing heart aren't the enemy. Resistance is. By the end of our time together, you may find your breathing has naturally slowed. Your shoulders have dropped. Your mind has softened into this moment instead of catastrophizing about tomorrow. Whether you drift into sleep or simply rest in stillness, you've created space for healing. You don't have to try to sleep. You don't have to try to relax. You don't have to try at all. Just be here. Just breathe. Just allow. Let's begin by understanding what's happening in your body tonight. Picture this. It's deep night. The kind of night where the silence feels heavy. You're lying in bed, exhausted. Your body begging for rest. But your mind won't cooperate. Your chest feels tight, like there's a weight pressing down, like you can't quite get enough air. Your breath is shallow, quick. You try to take a deep breath, but it catches halfway. Your lungs won't fully expand. Your heart is pounding, not from exercise, not from exertion, from nothing, from everything. It's beating so hard you can feel it in your throat, in your ears. You wonder if it's beating too fast, if something's wrong. Your mind starts racing. What if tomorrow goes wrong? What if that meeting is a disaster? What if they see through you? What if you can't handle it? What if this feeling never stops? The thoughts spiral, each one feeding the next, building momentum. You check the clock, 3:17 in the morning. The world feels like it's ending, and you're the only one awake to witness it. Everyone else is sleeping, peaceful, calm, untroubled, but not you. You're here, alone, in the dark, with a chest that won't unclench and a mind that won't stop. You tell yourself, just relax, just breathe, just let it go. But that only makes it worse. Because now you're anxious about being anxious. You're panicking about the panic. This is the third night this week, maybe the fourth. You've lost count. If this feels familiar, I want you to know something. You are not broken. Right now, at this very moment, millions of people are lying awake with the same tight chest, the same racing heart, the same catastrophic thoughts spinning through their minds. This isn't a personal failing. This isn't weakness. This is a human nervous system doing what it evolved to do. Scan for threats, predict danger, try to keep you safe. In the wild, this system kept your ancestors alive. The ones who heard a rustling in the bushes and assumed predator, not wind, they survived. They passed on their genes. You inherited that alarm system. But here's what's happened. In modern life, with deadlines and emails and mortgages and relationships and a world that never stops demanding, that alarm system has nowhere to go. So it runs and runs and runs. And at night, when you're tired, when your rational brain shuts down for rest, the alarm system takes over completely. Your amygdala, the part of your brain that detects threats, it becomes hyperactive. Your prefrontal cortex, the part that says, this is just a worry, not a real danger, it goes offline. Your cortisol spikes naturally. Between 2 and 4 in the morning, cortisol peaks as part of your circadian rhythm. Evolution designed it that way. A final check before dawn. But when you're already anxious, that cortisol spike feels like confirmation. See, something is wrong. And the spiral deepens. This is why 3 in the morning feels different than 3 in the afternoon. Your brain, at 3 in the afternoon, can tell the difference between a real threat and a hypothetical worry. At 3 in the morning, everything looks like fire. You're not imagining this. You're not making it up. Your physiology has shifted. Your nervous system is in a different state. This is real. And it makes sense that you feel this way. But here's what I need you to hear. This doesn't mean you're stuck. This doesn't mean it will always be this way. Because people have found a way through this. Not by fighting harder, not by forcing themselves to calm down, but by understanding the anxiety differently, by learning to work with the nervous system instead of against it, by discovering that the tight chest and the racing heart, they're not the enemy. The story you tell about them, that's where the suffering multiplies. There is a way through this, a way that doesn't require you to be perfect or fearless or calm, a way that starts with one simple shift. Let me tell you about someone who discovered this. Let me tell you about Isabella. She's 32, a graphic designer in Austin, talented, successful by most measures. 6 months ago, she started waking up at 2 or 3 in the morning with her heart racing, convinced, absolutely certain that she was dying. The first time it happened, she went to the emergency room. They ran tests. EKG, blood work. Everything came back normal. Just anxiety, they said. Just anxiety. As if anxiety was small. As if it didn't feel like her chest was caving in. It happened again the next week. And the week after that. She stopped going to the ER. She knew what they'd say. But knowing it was anxiety didn't make it stop. didn't make the panic any less terrifying. She started avoiding sleep, staying up as late as possible, because sleep meant waking up in panic, and she couldn't bear it anymore. Her work suffered, her relationships strained. She was exhausted all the time, but terrified of rest. One night, after another panic attack, she sat in her therapist's office, crying, desperate. "I don't know what's wrong with me," she said. "I just want it to stop." Her therapist asked a question that changed everything. What if the panic isn't the problem? Isabella looked up, confused. What if fighting it is the problem? What if trying to make it stop is what's making it worse? The idea felt radical, wrong even. But her therapist continued, "What if, the next time panic comes, you let it be here? You don't fight it. You don't try to fix it. You just let it exist." Isabella thought this was impossible. Letting panic be? That sounded like surrender, like giving up. But she was so tired, so desperate, she decided to try. The next time she woke with her heart pounding, instead of fighting, instead of thinking, "Oh no, not again," instead of spiraling into fear of the fear, she did something different. She named what was happening. "Tight chest," she said out loud. "Fast heart, shallow breath." Just sensations, no story, no judgment. She placed her hand on her heart. "This is panic," she said. "You can be here. I'm not going to fight you." And something astonishing happened. The panic didn't disappear, but it didn't escalate either. It peaked, and then, slowly, it began to descend. 10 minutes, not the usual 45. She started practicing this every time. RAIN, her therapist called it. Recognize what's here. Allow it to be. Investigate with curiosity. Nurture yourself through it. She stopped checking medical websites at 3 in the morning. Stopped asking her body, "What's wrong with you?" Started asking, "What do you need?" It's been 4 months now. The panic still comes sometimes, but she doesn't spiral. She doesn't add the second layer of fear. The panic is here, she tells herself, and I'm safe. Both things can be true at once. Isabella learned something profound. Resistance amplifies panic. Acceptance creates space. You can't control whether anxiety shows up, but you can control how you relate to it. Now, Isabella's path was about physical panic, but sometimes the anxiety lives primarily in the mind. Let me tell you about Marcus. He's 45, a high school history teacher in Ohio, beloved by his students, respected by colleagues. But at night, lying in bed, Marcus becomes someone else. His mind constructs elaborate disaster scenarios, detailed, vivid, convincing. What if I lose my job? What if my wife gets sick? What if the economy crashes and we lose the house? What if my son gets into an accident? On and on. Each catastrophe more detailed than the last. He knows, intellectually, that these are just thoughts, worries, not realities. But at 3 in the morning, they don't feel like worries. They feel like prophecies. He'd lie there, heart racing, running through worst-case scenarios like preparing for an exam he'd never take. His days became exhausting, teaching on 4 hours of sleep, going through the motions, smiling when he felt hollow inside. One evening, a close friend noticed, asked him what was going on. Marcus admitted it. The nighttime spirals, the catastrophic thinking, the inability to shut his mind off. His friend asked a simple question. How many of your 3 a.m. fears have actually happened? Marcus paused. He thought back. Months of catastrophizing. Years, even. The answer was stark. Almost none. Maybe 1 or 2 minor things. But the disasters? The elaborate ruins his mind constructed? None of them. His friend smiled gently. Your mind is a smoke detector, he said. It's going off at a candle, not a fire. That image stuck with Marcus. A smoke detector, designed to be sensitive, designed to alert, but sometimes oversensitive. He started a practice. When a catastrophic thought arose, he'd write it down. Just the thought, no elaboration. Then in the morning, in daylight, he'd look at it again. 90% of them seemed absurd in daylight, irrational, clearly the product of a tired, anxious brain. He learned a grounding question. Is this true right now? Not tomorrow. Not next week, right now. And the answer was almost always no. He learned a breathing technique. Physiological sigh, it's called. 2 quick inhales through the nose, then a long, slow exhale through the mouth. It resets the nervous system, signals to the brain, I'm safe. He'd do this when the catastrophizing started, 3 breaths. Sometimes that's all it took. Marcus still has worried thoughts. His brain still generates worst-case scenarios, but he doesn't believe them all anymore. He's learned to recognize his mind's pattern. This is what my brain does at night. It's not prophecy, it's fatigue. His sleep has improved. His anxiety during the day has decreased. He learned what Isabella learned in a different way. The thoughts aren't facts. They're your tired brain's hypotheticals. You don't have to believe everything you think. Both Isabella and Marcus discovered something powerful. But there's another layer to nighttime anxiety. Sometimes it's not just panic or catastrophizing. Sometimes it's the body itself that feels like the enemy. Let me tell you about Zoe. She's 28, an ER nurse in Boston. Ironic, isn't it? She spends her days assessing other people's medical emergencies, staying calm under pressure, saving lives. But at night, she became convinced her own body was betraying her. Every sensation felt like a warning sign. Heart beating fast, must be a heart attack. Chest feels tight, can't breathe, must be something serious. Tingling in her arm, stroke. Her medical knowledge made it worse, not better. She knew all the rare diseases, all the worst-case scenarios, and her hypervigilant mind applied them all to herself. She'd lie in bed, scanning her body, searching for symptoms. And of course, when you search for symptoms, you find them. A colleague finally pulled her aside. You scan patients for signs of distress all day, she said. You're doing it to yourself at night. Zoe realized it was true. Her professional vigilance, the thing that made her good at her job, had turned inward, had become a weapon against herself. She started practicing something different, body scan meditation, but not the kind where you search for problems, the kind where you simply observe, without judgment, without diagnosis. She'd lie in bed and notice. My chest feels tight. Okay, that's a sensation. Not my chest feels tight. Something's wrong. I'm dying. Just tight chest. Sensation present. She learned to distinguish between danger and discomfort. Danger requires action. Discomfort is just sensation. Most of what she was feeling? Discomfort, not danger. She started speaking to her body differently. Instead of, "Why are you doing this to me?" she'd say, "Thank you for trying to protect me. I see you. I'm listening. And right now, I'm safe." Metta, the Buddhist tradition calls it, loving kindness. She was extending to herself the compassion she'd give to a patient, to a friend. Her body wasn't the enemy. It was trying to help. The alarm system was just stuck on high alert. It's been 3 months. Her panic episodes have reduced by 80%. Not because her body changed, but because her relationship with her body changed. She still notices sensations. She's a nurse. She's trained to notice. But she doesn't catastrophize, doesn't spiral. My body's alarm system is sensitive, she tells herself. That's okay. I can work with that. Zoe learned what Isabella and Marcus learned in yet another way. Your body isn't betraying you. It's trying to protect you even when there's no threat. You can befriend it instead of fighting it. 3 people, 3 different struggles. Isabella learning to stop fighting panic. Marcus learning his thoughts aren't facts. Zoe learning to befriend her anxious body. But notice what they all discovered. Anxiety isn't the enemy. Resistance is. The tight chest, the racing thoughts, the pounding heart, these aren't problems to fix. They're signals, information. Your nervous system trying to communicate. And when you stop fighting, when you start listening, when you meet anxiety with curiosity instead of fear, something shifts. This is what the Buddha understood 2,500 years ago. This is what modern neuroscience is now confirming. Let's explore what made their transformation possible. You heard 3 stories tonight. Isabella, who learned to stop fighting panic. Marcus, who discovered his thoughts aren't prophecies. Zoe, who befriended her anxious body. 3 different people, 3 different struggles. But notice what they all discovered. Their suffering wasn't coming from the anxiety itself. It was coming from their relationship with the anxiety. Isabella's panic attacks didn't decrease because the sensations stopped. They decreased because she stopped adding fear on top of fear. Marcus's catastrophic thoughts didn't disappear. He just stopped believing them all. Zoe's body still sends alarm signals. She just doesn't interpret every signal as danger anymore. This is what the Buddha saw 2,500 years ago, sitting under the Bodhi tree. He noticed something profound about the nature of suffering. Let me share what he discovered. The Buddha taught about what we might call the smoke detector mind. Now, he didn't use those words. He didn't have smoke detectors, but the principle is the same. Your mind's primary job is to keep you alive, to scan for threats, to predict danger before it arrives. This is brilliant design. At 3 in the afternoon, when you're rested, when your rational brain is online, your mind can tell the difference between a real threat and a hypothetical worry. It can distinguish between a fire and burnt toast. But at 3 in the morning, when you're exhausted, when your prefrontal cortex has gone offline for the night, everything looks like fire. Your amygdala, the alarm center of your brain, it takes over. It becomes hypervigilant, hypersensitive. A worry becomes a catastrophe. A possibility becomes a certainty. A sensation becomes a symptom of doom. This is what was happening to Marcus. His mind, his smoke detector, was going off at a candle. Not because he was broken, not because something was wrong with him, because his nervous system was tired. And tired nervous systems see threats everywhere. The Buddha understood this. He called it the untrained mind, the monkey mind, jumping from branch to branch, restless, reactive. But here's what's crucial. He didn't say, get rid of your mind. He didn't say, your thoughts are the enemy. He said, understand how your mind works. See its patterns, its tendencies. And when you see clearly, you can work with it instead of against it. Modern neuroscience confirms this. When you're sleep deprived, when you're stressed, your amygdala becomes hyperactive, up to 60% more reactive to negative stimuli. Meanwhile, your prefrontal cortex, the part that regulates emotion and provides perspective, it dims. So you're left with an alarm system running wild and no brake pedal. Your 3 a.m. fears aren't more true than your 3 p.m. thoughts. They're just louder, more insistent. Your mind is a smoke detector. At night, it's extra sensitive. This isn't a flaw, it's biology. The Buddha taught something else, something he called the second arrow. He told this parable. Imagine you're walking through a forest. Suddenly, an arrow strikes you. It hurts. That first arrow, that's pain. That's life. Unavoidable sometimes. Loss, disappointment, difficulty, the tight chest, the racing heart. We can't always prevent the first arrow. But then, immediately, you grab a second arrow and shoot yourself again. Why did this happen to me? What did I do wrong? This means I'm broken. It will never get better. That second arrow, you shot it yourself. The first arrow is pain. The second arrow is suffering. And here's the profound insight. The first arrow is often unavoidable, but the second arrow is always optional. Isabella experienced this directly. The first arrow was the panic, the racing heart, the tight chest, physical sensations. The second arrow was her terror about the panic, her belief that it meant something was terribly wrong, her fear of the fear itself. When she stopped shooting the second arrow, when she stopped adding story to sensation, the panic didn't disappear, but it stopped multiplying. Marcus experienced this too. The first arrow was worry, a thought arising. What if something goes wrong? The second arrow was treating that thought as truth, elaborating on it, building entire disaster scenarios, believing his tired mind's hypotheticals. When he learned to recognize thoughts as thoughts, not facts, he stopped shooting the second arrow. This is what we might call first fear and second fear. First fear is physiological, your nervous system responding, heart rate increasing, breath quickening, muscles tensing. This is automatic, unavoidable, part of being human. Second fear is psychological, the story about the fear. I shouldn't feel this way. Something's wrong with me. This will never end. First fear lasts seconds to minutes. It's a wave. It peaks and passes. Second fear can last hours, days, years, because you keep feeding it with story. Dr. Judson Brewer, a neuroscientist who studies anxiety, talks about this as shifting gears. First gear is reactive, caught in the fear, believing it, fighting it. Second gear is aware, noticing the fear, observing it, allowing it. Brain imaging studies show something remarkable. When people practice this kind of metacognitive awareness, when they observe their anxiety instead of identifying with it, activity in the amygdala decreases. The alarm center quiets. Not because the threat is gone, but because the relationship to the experience has changed. You can't always control the first arrow, the first fear. But the second arrow, the second fear, the story you tell about what's happening, that's where your power lives. Now, both of these teachings, the smoke detector mind and the two arrows, they point to something deeper, something the Buddha called metta, loving kindness. He taught this. Hatred never ceases by hatred, but by love alone. We usually think of this as applying to other people, and it does. But it applies to yourself too, to your own anxiety. You cannot hate your way to calm. You cannot fight your way to peace. Zoe discovered this. Her body wasn't the enemy. It was trying to protect her. When she stopped treating her anxiety as a betrayal, when she started speaking to it with compassion, "Thank you for trying to keep me safe. I hear you. I'm okay." Everything shifted. This isn't just spiritual wisdom. It's neuroscience. When you practice self-compassion, when you speak to yourself the way you'd speak to a frightened child, your body releases oxytocin, the same hormone that's released when someone else comforts you. You can give yourself what you're seeking. Dr. Kristin Neff's research shows that self-compassion reduces cortisol, the stress hormone. It calms the nervous system. Polyvagal theory explains why. When you receive signals of safety, even from yourself, your ventral vagal system activates. Your body moves out of fight or flight into rest and digest. You're literally sending your nervous system the message, "You're safe. I've got you." This is what metta practice does. It's not about feeling warm and fuzzy, though sometimes that happens. It's about changing the tone of your inner voice, from critic to companion, from enemy to ally. What if you spoke to your anxious body the way Zoe learned to? What if you met your catastrophic thoughts the way Marcus learned to? What if you allowed your panic the way Isabella learned to? Not with resignation, not with defeat, but with kindness, with curiosity, with the understanding that your nervous system is doing its best with the information it has. So let's bring this together. Tonight, when anxiety rises, when panic comes, when your mind starts spinning, you have 3 understandings now. 1. Your mind is a smoke detector. At night, it's extra sensitive. This doesn't mean the threats are real. It means your alarm system is tired. The catastrophes your mind creates at 3 a.m., they're not prophecies. They're your smoke detector going off at burnt toast. 2. There are 2 arrows, 2 fears. The first fear, the physical sensations, the automatic thoughts, you can't always prevent these. They're the first arrow. The second fear, the story you tell about those sensations, the belief that they mean something terrible, that's the second arrow. And that one is optional. You can feel your heart race and not add the story, "I'm dying." You can have a worried thought and not add the story, "This will definitely happen." You can experience the first fear without shooting the second arrow. 3. You can meet your anxiety with loving kindness instead of hatred. Your body isn't betraying you. Your mind isn't your enemy. They're trying to protect you. The alarm system is just stuck on high. And when you speak to your anxiety with compassion instead of contempt, when you say, "I see you, I hear you, thank you, and also, I'm safe right now," your nervous system begins to believe you. These aren't just ideas. These are practices, tools you can use tonight, right now. Let's practice together. Now we move from understanding to practice, from wisdom to action. But before we begin, I want to set something straight. These aren't quick fixes. These aren't magic solutions that will make anxiety disappear forever. These are nervous system resets, tools that work with your biology, not against it. Some nights will be easy. Some nights will be hard. That's okay. That's part of being human. Progress, not perfection. And here's the most important thing. You don't need to do all of these practices. You don't need to master them all tonight. Pick one, just one. The one that resonates, the one that feels doable. That's enough. Let's start with the practice that works fastest. The one that can calm your nervous system in about 90 seconds. It's called the physiological sigh. This was discovered by researchers at Stanford, led by Dr. Andrew Huberman. They found that this specific breathing pattern is the fastest way to reduce stress in real time. Faster than meditation. Faster than progressive relaxation. It's used by Navy SEALs, ER doctors, anyone who needs to calm down quickly under pressure. And you can do it right now. We'll do it together. Here's how it works. You're going to take 2 quick inhales through your nose. The first inhale fills your lungs about 80%. Then immediately, without exhaling, you take a second sharp inhale to top off the lungs completely. Then, a long, slow exhale through your mouth, like you're blowing out a candle very, very slowly. The double inhale re-inflates the tiny air sacs in your lungs that collapse throughout the day. This offloads carbon dioxide. The long exhale activates your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest mode. It sends a direct signal to your brain. I'm safe. There's no threat. Let's try it. Breathe in through your nose. Fill your lungs about 80%. Now, immediately, one more sharp inhale. Top off the lungs. And now, long, slow exhale through your mouth, like you're blowing out a birthday candle from across the room. Let's do it again. Inhale through your nose, top it off, long, slow exhale. One more time. Inhale, top off, long exhale. Notice how you feel now, even just 3 breaths. Your shoulders might have dropped slightly. Your jaw might have unclenched. Your heart rate might have slowed. This is your nervous system shifting gears. You can do this anytime tonight, when panic starts to rise, when catastrophic thoughts begin, when your chest feels tight. 3 breaths. That's all. This is the practice Marcus used. When his mind started spinning disaster scenarios, 3 physiological sighs. Sometimes that was enough to interrupt the spiral. Now, the second practice. This one is for when you're lying in bed and anxiety is fully here. Present, loud. This is the practice Isabella used. RAIN. It's an acronym. 4 steps. Takes about 90 seconds. RAIN. R stands for recognize. When the anxiety arises, when the panic starts, pause, just for a moment, and name it, silently, in your mind. This is anxiety. This is fear. This is panic. You're not trying to fix it. You're not trying to make it go away. You're just acknowledging. It's here. This simple act of naming creates space. It activates your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that observes instead of reacts. Dr. Matthew Lieberman at UCLA calls this affect labeling, putting feelings into words. Brain scans show it reduces amygdala activity by up to 50%. A stands for allow. This is the hardest part and the most important. Don't push the anxiety away. Don't judge yourself for feeling it. Say to yourself, it's okay to feel this. You can be here. Or even, hello, anxiety, I see you. This isn't resignation. This isn't giving up. This is what Isabella discovered. When you stop fighting panic, when you stop adding fear on top of fear, the panic stops escalating. Resistance amplifies. Acceptance creates space. I stands for investigate. Get curious, like a scientist. Not a judge. Where do you feel the anxiety in your body? Is it tight in your chest? A knot in your stomach? Tension in your shoulders? What thoughts are here? Don't analyze. Don't solve. Just observe. You're gathering data. You're learning your nervous system's patterns. and N stands for nurture. This is where metta comes in. Loving kindness. Place a hand on your heart. Feel the warmth of your own hand and speak to yourself the way you'd speak to a dear friend who's suffering. You might say, "I'm here. I'm here for this feeling," or "This is hard, and I'm not alone," or "You're doing your best. That's enough." Neuroscience shows that when you speak to yourself with compassion, your brain releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone, the same one released when someone else comforts you. You're literally soothing your own nervous system. Let's practice RAIN together, right now. Think of the anxiety you're feeling tonight, whatever brought you here. R. Recognize. This is anxiety. This is fear. Name it. A. Allow. It's okay that you're here. I'm not going to fight you. I. Investigate. Where do you feel it in your body? What thoughts are present? Just notice. N. Nurture. Hand on your heart. I'm here. You're not alone in this. That's RAIN. 90 seconds. A complete practice. You can use this anytime tonight. When you wake at 3 a.m. with your heart racing. When the catastrophic thoughts start spinning. Recognize. Allow. Investigate. Nurture. This is how you stop shooting the second arrow. Now, the third practice. This one is for tomorrow morning. Because healing anxiety isn't just about what you do at night. It's about what you do in the light of day. This is the practice Marcus used. When you wake up tomorrow, before you check your phone, before you start your day, do this. Write down one fear from last night. Just one. The thought that kept you awake. The catastrophe your mind was predicting. Write it down. Then, in the daylight, with your rational brain online, ask yourself this question. Is this true right now? Not, could it become true someday? Not, is it theoretically possible? Right now, in this moment. Is this actually happening? Marcus discovered that 90% of his 3 a.m. fears dissolved in daylight. They seemed absurd, clearly the product of a tired, anxious brain. This practice builds something crucial: trust in yourself. You start to recognize, my nighttime thoughts aren't reliable. They're not prophecies. They're my smoke detector going off at burnt toast. And when you learn this pattern, when you see it clearly, the nighttime thoughts lose their power. You still have them. Your brain still generates worst-case scenarios, but you don't believe them all anymore. Do this for 1 week, just 1 week. Each morning, write down one fear from the night before. Check it against reality. Notice what you discover. Now, you might be wondering, which practice should I use? When? Here's my guidance. If your anxiety is primarily physical, if it's the tight chest, the racing heart, the shallow breath, start with the physiological sigh. 3 breaths. Resets your nervous system in 90 seconds. If your anxiety is primarily mental, if it's the catastrophic thoughts, the what-ifs, the disaster scenarios, use the morning reality check. Build trust in your ability to distinguish tired thoughts from truth. If your anxiety is the fear of the fear itself, if you're panicking about the panic, use RAIN. It creates space between you and the experience. It stops the second arrow. But honestly, if you're not sure, start with the physiological sigh. It's the simplest, it works the fastest, and it works for almost everyone. Inhale, top off, long exhale, 3 times. That's it. You don't need to be perfect at this. You don't need to do it right. You just need to try. One practice. Tonight, right now, pick the one that resonates. And remember what Isabella, Marcus, and Zoe all learned. You can't control whether anxiety shows up, but you can control how you meet it. With fight, or with kindness. With resistance, or with space. With the second arrow, or with awareness. The choice is yours. Let's bring everything together now. Tonight, you learned about the smoke detector mind, how your brain at 3 a.m. sees fires everywhere, even when there's only burnt toast. You learned about the 2 arrows. The first fear, the physical sensation, unavoidable sometimes. The second fear, the story you tell about it, always optional. You learned about metta, about meeting your anxiety with loving kindness instead of hatred, about befriending your nervous system instead of fighting it. And you learned 3 practices. The physiological sigh, 2 quick inhales, 1 long exhale, 90 seconds to calm. RAIN. Recognize, allow, investigate, nurture. A complete response to panic. The morning reality check, testing your nighttime thoughts against daylight truth. These aren't just ideas. These are tools. Real, tangible ways to work with anxiety instead of against it. Isabella used them. Marcus used them. Zoe used them. And you can too. But here's something important I need you to hear. You don't need to remember all of this. You don't need to get it perfect. You don't need to recall every word, every teaching, every technique. Your body already knows. Right now, as you're lying here, your nervous system has been learning, not intellectually, somatically. It's felt the shift, the softening, the release. It knows how to do this, so let it all go now. The teachings, the practices, even these words, just let it all drift away. Your only job now is to rest. Feel your body. Notice how different it feels than when we started. Your breath. It's slower now, isn't it? Deeper, more natural. You're not trying to breathe anymore. It's just happening. Your shoulders, they've dropped. Maybe you didn't even notice when. Your jaw, softer now, unclenched. Your hands, heavy, resting. Your whole body, settling, sinking, like you're being held by something larger than yourself. The earth beneath you, gravity, the darkness itself. You're safe here. Nothing chasing you, nothing demanding, nothing urgent. Just this moment, just this breath. Just this quiet, soft, dark space. Your mind might still have thoughts. That's okay. Thoughts are like clouds passing through the sky. The sky doesn't fight them, doesn't hold them, just watches them drift. You can do the same. A thought arises. Okay, there it is, and it passes. Another comes, and it passes too. You don't need to engage. You don't need to solve. You don't need to finish any of them. Just let them drift, like clouds, like leaves on a stream, here and then gone. Feel the weight of your body now, so heavy, so tired. Your head sinking into the pillow, your arms like anchors, your legs so heavy you couldn't move them if you tried. But you don't need to try. You don't need to do anything. You're exactly where you need to be. Exactly as you are. Whole, complete, safe. Let yourself sink now, deeper into rest, into darkness, into peace. May you rest deeply tonight. May you be held by something larger than your fear. May your body remember it knows how to calm itself. May your mind release the catastrophes that haven't happened. May you wake tomorrow feeling lighter, softer, more yourself. May you know, deep in your bones, the panic will pass. The fear will fade. The tight chest will loosen. May you trust your nervous system is learning, even now, even as you rest. May you forgive yourself for being human, for having a body that gets tired, for having a mind that worries. You don't need to be fearless to be worthy. You don't need to be calm to deserve rest. You are enough, exactly as you are, right now. May you be free from the second arrow, from the story that multiplies suffering. May you meet your anxiety with the kindness you'd give a frightened child. May you sleep, and in sleeping, may you heal. There's nothing left to do now. No fear to solve, no thought to finish, no tomorrow to prepare for, no breath to control. Just this soft darkness, this quiet, this moment. You can let go now, all of it. The smoke detector, the arrows, the practices, everything. Let go. Sinking now, down, deeper, into rest. Your breath so quiet, barely there, rising, falling, all on its own. Safe, held. The earth beneath you, holding you. You don't have to hold yourself. Rest now, sleep. Let the darkness hold you. Let the silence fill you. Let the night carry you. Falling softly, gently into sleep. You're safe. You've always been safe. Rest well, friend.